Hi there, everybody in the USA. This is Ian Parry. You're listening to Talking About Rock.
All right, today's guest is a renowned metal vocalist from the UK, born in Liverpool. In the early 80s and 90s, he was the singer for the Dutch metal bands Hammerhead and the band Vengeance. He also worked in Mono Pacific with Zak Starkey, son of the Beatles drummer Ringo Starr, and Air Race, formerly with Jason Bonham, son of Led Zeppelin's drummer John Bonham. He has released over 36 albums credited in a career covering more than 40 years. Here to chat with us about his new release, Consortium Project 6, The Legacy of Empires. Let's welcome Ian Parry. Oh, Ian.
Hi, man. How you doing there?
I'm doing well. And thanks for joining us today.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yeah, so this latest release, it not only celebrates your 45 years professional singer-songwriter, it also lets you kind of revisit and complete the 6th chapter of the Consortium Project saga.
Yeah. Exactly. And it was 15 years ago when I did Consortium 5 Species. And for years, I had a song lying there. It was on the shelf. I recorded in Florida with Casey Grillo. At the time, he was playing in Camelot. Now he's the Queensryche drummer. And I had this, it was on my bucket list. I wanted to just revisit Consortium Project one more time. And in a nutshell, a guitar player from France got in touch with me, a guy called Kadat, Johan Kadat, from a really cool metal band. Everybody should check it out. It's called Asylum Pyre. They've got killer videos. And he wanted to do songs with me, write songs for a Rock Emporium 3 album. But I said, what about Consortium? Then suddenly that got postponed again. Elegy got back together, got a phone call. Henk van der Laars, guitar player, wants to put the band back together. So I went on tour thinking it was going to be 6 months. It was 2 years. So then October, we did Prog Power in the USA. We played headlining shows in Japan. And then we finished off in October 2024 with Prog Power Europe. And at that moment, I thought, right, now's the chance. Henk and the second guitar player, original lineup, Gilbert Pott and Henk van der Laars, they said, we're going to start working again further on new songs for another Elegy album. And I thought, okay, great. This is a window of opportunity. So I'll start working on a Consortium 6. And that's how it went.
Yeah, definitely very, very cool. Just an epic album here. It definitely just sounds amazing. Definitely for sure. So let's talk a little bit about your history. If we go back here a little bit, let's review some of it. So you began in '85 in the hard rock band Hammerhead, signing to EMI Records, also featuring Dave Rosenthal from Rainbow and drummer Joe Franco from Twisted Sister and Widowmaker.
Great, 2 cool guys. And amazing. I was only like in my early 20s at the time, and I had this phenomenal experience. We recorded at EMI Electrolyte Studio in Cologne, Germany, and it was still the Berlin Wall. And at top of the entrance from the Electrolyte EMI Studios, EMI offices, it said The Works. And I thought, that's a strange name, but it was the new album from Queen. I had no idea, but great experience. David, I mean, what can I say? He was one of my all-time greatest keyboard players, him and Don Airy and the rest. John Lord, Deep Purple, all killer keyboard players. And it was a long shot. We never thought he would hitch up with us. And we were looking for a drummer at the same time. We were signed to EMI Holland, got taken over by Germany, got in touch with David, And then he did the business with the record company, and lo and behold, there we were together. We flew Joe Franco over with his drum kit to EMI Studios, and David produced the album. But unfortunately, got shelved for something like 20 years.
Yeah, that's what I was reading. So that like 15 years, it was locked away in the EMI vault, and you guys finally got it released in what, 2000, I think?
Yeah, something like that, 2000. Yeah, what happened, there was an argument. We went way over budget. I mean, you know, at the time in Deutschmark, it was, we spent something like, just on a studio machine, a new recording machine, because the one they had was on its way out. David said, yeah, this is no good. We need a new machine. So they got in, instead of hiring one, they bought one. So there was 250,000 Deutsche Mark on a studio machine and all this equipment. And everything kept breaking, and we had bad weather. We went well over budget. And in the end, it was just too expensive to bring it out. They would never have recouped. We went way over the top. We even went to Capitol Records in London to try and get Capitol to bring it out on EMI America. That was the new label at the time. But unfortunately, internally, EMI didn't go for it. Germany said, no, we're not having any of that. You know, it was their baby. And so the whole thing got shelved. Yeah. But it did come out in the end.
Yeah, you finally got it out in the end. Yep, definitely. So it looks like Sodium Records and Marquee Records in Japan, I guess they released it for you guys. Yeah.
This is the first single we had. I don't know if you can see it. It was on EMI Harvest label, Hammerhead. It was really cool. And yeah, that's how it all basically started here in Europe for me. Before that, I was with Zak Starkey, Ringo's son. And that was the big dream. I thought my folks, bless them, they're not with us anymore, but we all thought this is going to be it. You know, Ian's going to be rich and famous. But unfortunately, that got put on stop as well. I can't mention too many words. But the only great thing was, as I recorded, I met Ringo, hung out with him. He stayed for Christmas. He bought me great presents, nice warm jumpers for the winter. Coming from Liverpool, it was a big kick. So his parents, stepdad, I believe it was. They loved me. You know, I came from their hometown, like them. So, you know, I got on like a house on fire with them. And we did all our demos. That's where Whitesnake did the Come and Get It album. It was Ringo bought the house and studio Tittenhouse Park in Ascot over from John Lennon. So that's where we used to rehearse. We did in the beginning all our demos. And I only found out until about 10 years ago that I sang on John Lennon's microphone. It was a Neumann mic he had, I think a U89 or something like that. And this is my baby here. I don't know if you can see it. I use an AKG, but anyway, long story short, turns out I was using John Lennon's mic that he recorded Imagine with. So, how better can that be?
Right. Pretty amazing. Such an iconic name, legend, definitely. So, I have to ask you, do you keep in touch with Zak, Zak Starkey anymore at all? Do you speak with him or keep in touch with him?
I spoke to him, I think it was about, I know the old bait. There's only one, apart from Zak and me from Mono Pacific, there's only one more guy. The other two guys sadly died of cancer. Really talented musicians. But the bass player, Kerry Benford, he talks occasionally to Zak, but I don't have any contact with him at all. You know, he went really rich and famous. I mean, through his own talent. And not because of his dad. I mean, Zak is an incredible drummer. He used to play on Keith Moon's drum kit, a gold-rimmed Premier kit. My dad used to play Premier drums. I come from a drummer's family. And he also taught himself guitar, and he plays really cool guitar. Then he got this big job in Oasis. And then he became the Who drummer.
And they dropped him. They fired him for being too loud, which was in the press. He was playing too loud for the band that was known to be like the loudest band for the longest time. He gets dropped for being too loud. That was very interesting. I think they brought him back, but that was just a crazy story.
Yeah, it was crazy. And Zak always kicked ass on the drums. He was like Keith Moon. He had the same energy. And I mean, if you want to produce that kind of power, you can't like sit there like you're ticking away. You've got to give it muscle and balls and the full shoulder, and that's what Zak did. And he's an amazing drummer, and his dad's a lovely man.
Yeah, very cool. So moving along, in '93 came the release of your first solo CD, Symphony of Dreams, initially an AOR rock album. Released in over 15 countries, received a lot of positive reviews, and you performed and recorded live in England for the MTV Headbangers Ball. And I was just watching the interview that you did back in the day in '93 regarding that. That was amazing.
I don't know if you can see this. I've got somebody did printouts for MTV when I was on live on MTV. I think we did it in Milton Keynes and Manchester. We did 2 shows for God's Away AOR. But I'm a huge Journey fan, man. Fucking Journey box, excuse my French, Journey box set. Given to me by Sony Records. Yes. Lucky son of a gun. Yeah,
they're still doing amazing too on their farewell tour. It looks like Journey's at the end of the road there. It looks like.
Oh, right. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like, but you never know. I mean, bands always say that, and this is the farewell tour, and then there's the encore tour or whatever. There's always other stuff that's going on, definitely. So then you also released a second solo album as well, Artistic License, which was pretty cool. Definitely, both albums were released under licenses in Japan by Zero Corporation. And due to their initial success, you were invited to Tokyo to do some press and promotion there.
Yeah, that was really cool. I was at Zero Corporation. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, I've got all my CDs here. I collect everything I do. It was a great label. In the beginning, in the early days, I got fed up. Record companies, you go there with a demo, like you're begging for the deal, and you've got your cap in your hands, and it's your demo. And then, they always come up with some excuse. Oh, yeah, we don't know, because no disrespect, but the major labels didn't have A&R managers with foresight. The A&R manager of Frontiers Records, who sang Consortium, he knew it would be a success. He said, you never got the backing. Come with us, sign to Frontiers. We'll bring it out. We'll bring out the back catalogue, and, it'll go sky high, what you never got in the past. And it was the same thing. So I decided to start my own little label, Nonstop Productions. My idea was to help other bands, get musicians together. That was the Consortium Project. But Zero Corporation opened the door for me in Japan. I used to work with a guy called Misha Calvin. He did Evolution albums 1 and 2. Tony Martin and me did the first one together from Sabbath. Basically, playing in Japan gave me credit and opened a lot of doors for me. And we were there a couple of years back with Elegy. At the Evoken Festival. I don't know if you can see the poster on my back wall there. 2 nights headlining. So that was on my bucket list as well as Consortium Project 6, revisiting the Consortium concept. So at the moment, I'm shocked how it's going. I never expected so many people to, in a couple of weeks, nearly 14,000 watching the video. Just things which were told to me, which had the opportunities I never had in the past. And that's the great thing about music. And also, even, I'm 65 years old, but I'm still kicking ass. And you're never too late. So always keep on fighting on. If there's any young guys out there, make sure you get your education first, because you have to get a good paying job. But always chase your dreams with a good paying job behind to finance it, and never stop. Always give it a try. You never know. I'll just rock till I drop, I guess.
Yeah. The album is definitely epic, I would definitely say. And you performed with a lot of great musicians through the years. I was looking through some of the list here. Tony Martin from Black Sabbath, obviously. David Rosenthal from Rainbow. Casey Grillo, like you're saying, is now in Queensryche. Do you speak to either one of them at all about what's going on with them?
Every now and again. I did invite him a number of years back to play keyboards on Consortium Project, but the lucky son of a gun, he scored himself. I hung out with him in Amsterdam. He scored himself a great gig with Billy Joel. And I mean, once you're playing keyboards for Billy Joel, you don't really stop in and playing on Ian's album.
right.
He had absolutely no time. But he sent me an old picture of Hammerhead a few years back. And Joe Franco, I had recent contact with him. He's retired now because I did want him to play drums for me on Consortium 6. But he said, "Oh man, I'm in my 70s now. Sorry, buddy, I'm retired. I'm hanging out in Florida with my wife and daughters. So hey, you know, that sounds like paradise to me, you know. So all respect."
Yeah. And Casey's doing great. Queensryche has been touring all over the place, you know, for the last couple of years, and their lineup with Todd singing just tremendous.
Yeah, I mean. I always hoped and believed, I knew straight away when Elegy and Camelot toured together, there's a poster on the wall. We did believe it or not, in 98, we did a Camelot Elegy co-headlining tour together. We were both on TNT Noise Records back in the day. And we became really great friends. You know, we were in this one big tour bus together, Nightliner. And Tom and Casey said, "Hey, why don't you guys come over to Florida and do some stuff together?" Because I told them briefly I was thinking of doing a project called Consortium Project, and I'm inviting musicians around the world. That was in 1998. They said, "Come over, you know, we'll record some stuff for you." And that's what we did. I went over with Derek, the drummer of Elegy, hung out and had a fabulous time, best time of my life. And we've kept contact ever since. And at the time, I knew during the tour in 1998 with Camelot that Casey had far more potential for the future. I just knew it. And look how big Camelot are as well these days. But for me, that's the ultimate. What Casey's done as a drummer, that's the ultimate job. Getting a gig with Queensryche. I mean, come on. My God. Good on you, mate.
Right. They definitely reinvented themselves, you know, after Jeff Tate getting the new singer, you know, they climbed back up. They were opening, and now they're back to headlining, you know.
Yeah, brilliant. I did tour with as a support with Jeff Tate, helped out my friends from Headless, an Italian band, and the guitar player and the two guitar players, by the way, they got the gig with Jeff touring. Now I waited right until we did about 10 shows, 12 shows in Europe with him. I don't know if you can see this. Just to show I'm a fan of Queensryche. Operation Mindcrime.
Yeah,
and he signed them for me, Jeff. And this was a bootleg. I went to a show in Amsterdam and we went backstage, and I was in Vengeance at the time, and I knew all the guys at EMI, and I phoned them up and I said, "Hey, you know, Vengeance would like to say hi to Queensryche. Is there any way you can get us some VIP passes?" They got us backstage, and we had press photos with the national press, but the only guy that wasn't in the picture was me, because I was the little guy at the end.
Oh, you got cut out of the end.
But anyway, yeah, it was great being with Jeff Tate, and he signed, look at this, Promised Land.
Oh yeah, like I really liked Promised Land. Not a lot of folks really got into that one, but I thought that was a great album. Yep.
Yeah, I'm just you know, that's it. I've always been into. I love Dream Theater as well. I love the prog thing. Elegy was doing that kind of style way back when. I mean, we're talking of like late 90s, maybe 87 they were writing this shit. And I never expected that Elegy would have so much success. And when we brought out the acoustic album, it sold 10,000 back in 1996. Noise Records said, "Get into the studio, do a studio album with Ian." And we went on to sell something like 150,000, toured everywhere. I mean, we were headlining in Japan, did Osaka and Tokyo. Just that's what I love about the music. Anything is possible, you know. Doors can unexpectedly open. Hey, man, I'm with you, Bob.
You never know what's going to be behind that next door.
Rock with Bob Edwards.
Yeah, definitely. And so currently you got out the latest track, Legacy of Empires. What are the new tracks or videos coming? What's next on the horizon?
Yeah, well, I'm now busy editing because I did the editing on the first, purely because I just wanted it to go the way I imagined in my mind's eye. It's a concept album, so not a lot of people understand that when you do a concept album, this is a fictional story about a world going out of control. Women split the species. The biosphere they build to protect themselves because global warming, we destroy the atmosphere of the planet. There's an earthquake. They find these 10 stone tablets. I don't know what you want to call them, but they were like predictions of the past, present, and future, a bit like Nostradamus. And they end up reuniting the species and discover that we're from an alien species from origin who tried to kill us at the end of C5. And C6 is going back in time like Star Wars did. I'm a huge fan of Star Wars. I even went backstage at Shepperton Film Studios when I was recording with Zak at Gary Newman's studios. I'd finished my vocals. They said, why don't you walk around the studio sets, the stages? And I did. I went in there and there was like this swamp and a spaceship sticking out, my cup of tea, my kind of thing. And late, never knew Star Wars. I didn't know what it was. And then I saw 3 films back to back in a cinema in Middlesex near London. And there it was, the scene. And I thought, fuck, excuse my French, I've been there.
Yep.
I've seen that.
Yeah, that's from The Empire Strikes Back when he was on Dagobah talking to Yoda. That's the swamp from Dagobah, yeah.
That was it.
Very, very cool. So, man, we definitely look forward to what's coming up next for you. So the new album, Legacy of Empires from Ian Parry's Consortium Project 6, that'll be released on August 28th. You can stream the title track now and pre-order the album on Frontiers Music. All right. So that wraps up this episode. Thank you to my guest today, Ian Parry, and to our listeners. We hope you're doing your part by keeping the torch alive and supporting live music wherever you are. Ian, again, thank you so much.
Thank you, and check out soon the second video single coming in about 3 weeks.
All right, sounds awesome.